I'll speed it out. There's Weeb. Crashing more castles, yes.
Why the okay, now my shit is just fucked up.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I think I fixed it.
That's good. Cool. I'm just tweeting out the episode. As we wait for
Fuck
people
me. I just left the game by accident.
Oh, it's okay. I can just re-invite you.
I just forgot the buttons because I'm not using Xbox.
Let me re-invite you. Okay, I sent you another invite. Okay.
Hold on. Take another invite. Sorry, for some reason it wasn't using my controller there.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah. I love scrolling through, not fully remembering what character I was playing, and just seeing one at like, 1, 1, 1, 19, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, right. Oh, nope. That's B. Oh, nope. Fuck. I don't know numbers. Fuck. I've been playing Switch controls for a while, so my A and B are mixed up in my head.
Is that for the Nintendo
I don't
thing?
know numbers.
Wait, did you guys? Did you guys leave the game, or are you still in the?
No,
session?
I'm still in here, brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we could probably send you an invite.
Yeah. Or I can. There you go.
Where's the chat? Why is the chat not showing up?
I have chat. I just don't think anyone's posted in chat yet.
No, the box isn't showing up for me.
Oh, that's weird.
He's just like a black void, whatever then.
Yeah, I see chat now because none chatted.
Yeah, Vindy will never know what I said.
It is what it is, wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. It's between me and Craftsdwarf now.
Yep. So yeah, how have you guys been this year so far?
I've been good, chilling.
Getting over insanity, and I, been watching stuff. I'm almost done with Creamy Mommy. I have 1 episode left.
Huh?
I also found out that
wow,
there's
1 episode left. Damn.
Yeah, I found out there's 3 other magical girl shows that take place in the same universe.
Walk in.
So...
Walk in. None.
Oh, sorry. What do I press? I'm not smart.
Hey.
I backed out.
I was never. Oh my god. Oh my god.
T.
I think we have to exit the game because of this fucking guy. None violently smashing the back out button. What do you mean? What do I do?
I did the same
pressing
thing.
Pressing Alt F4. How do I join the game? How do I get ready? Like, hello, brother. The same button it would be in every video game. The confirm button on your controller. Not the back button. Hello?
I was pressing that and it didn't do anything.
Well, I can't invite either of you guys right now, so... Oh, no, there it is.
Sorry. Okay, we're back. It's
no, wrong
fine.
character.
Why is it not using my fucking controller? I need another invite. Oh wait, I actually closed the game.
Oh my! I exited by accident.
Okay, we need to play
This is why we
something
try to get into the lobby before we start the stream.
else. This game is too hard. We need to play something else.
Look, you know
This is
what?
why we're playing Street Fighter 6 next stream.
You know what the problem is?
It's
Wait.
so funny.
So on the PlayStation, right, the X button is the confirm button, right? But when
Yeah.
you press that, it brings up the menu of, oh, do you want to leave? And then I'm like, wait, no, I don't want to leave. So I panic and press circle, but that's not what I'm supposed to press. I'm supposed to press square.
Oh, so your buttons are fucked up. Then.
Actually, wait. Now I'm confused. Okay. No, I'm supposed to press X again when that pops up.
Just
Where-
press A.
Dude, why is it not registering my fucking controller when I'm in the lobby? Like it is in the menu.
There
and
we
I get,
go.
Give me another one.
Oh, nope, it's...
It's like I get into the lobby. It's like, no, you're playing keyboard. No. I'm using a controller.
Okay,
down.
we're so back. Wait, I entered a level by accident.
No, what?
Brother.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, I'm just gonna exit the game. This is so fucked.
This is.
I don't know how to play
the
video
best capture
games.
graphics of all time. Yeah. We would probably have an easier time somehow all getting into a co-op like Dark Souls 1 game on 360s. Like we could plug 360s into the internet right now with a copy of Dark Souls 1 just on disc, put that in, and probably have an easier time getting into a fucking co-op game of that.
We're
Look.
getting filtered by the fucking lobby.
All right, now I know I just need to press circle, circle. That's what I have to press.
Just don't do it
Controller.
yet until Vindy's here. And locked in.
Okay. Thank God it's using my fucking controller.
Alright, Vindy, lock in. With the correct
in.
button.
I'm in.
Lock in. Lock. There you go.
You were supposed to exit the game?
Shut the fuck up, then. Oh no, we go this way now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
brother. We are zooming. Oh yeah, we're up, brother.
Craftsdwarf, are
We
you
beat the corn on the cob, yeah. Didn't
Yeah.
we? Yeah, so we're this way.
are you still gonna watch Creamy Mommy this year?
Maybe cause the thing with that. Oh, we need the cornucopia. Do we have that yet? Yes.
Yeah, we got it.
So what was I gonna say is, cause I was originally gonna watch that for a video, project, but then I have other stuff I can do.
This feels
so,
terrible.
What, the PlayStation controller?
No, the swamp.
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
Dude, it's like I'm playing fucking Dark Souls again.
So I was
Now I
gonna
know where
say-
Miyazaki got the idea from.
But God, my brain just stopped. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna work on that video this year. So
Yeah,
I
so
might-
you're less
I might
interested
not,
in getting to it immediately. Yeah, makes sense.
basically.
Hiya! Oh.
Are you gonna be completionist and watch the 3 other shows that are in the same universe?
What shows are they and are they translated?
So one of them is
Salty Steven and...
one of them's partially translated.
I see
it might be
Vindy,
2
it
of
is
them.
funny. I
It's
just,
Vinegary
yeah.
Victor.
Shut up.
But yeah, I mean, I was looking on like the Creamy Mommy wiki, and then like there was another show on the side, and I clicked on it, and it was like, oh, this is the 4th of Periot's Magical Girl universe or something, and it was saying it was in the same universe as Creamy Mommy, and I was like, wait, 4th? So like, there's just
Okay.
multiple shows in the same world.
I definitely want to look at that myself, just to, because I'm not saying I don't know, because it could
You're a
just be like
fucking liar.
one non-consequential crossover thing. You know?
Oh, I mean,
So,
well, yeah, I know it's not consequential in the sense
luck.
that, like, it's not like she's
Yeah.
showing up in the shows. Like, there's one crossover special, but, like, it's just saying they're in the same world without it really mattering, I think.
Okay.
But I just thought it was interesting because I just didn't know there was like
Yeah, that's fair.
more.
So how are you doing on your Dark Souls from soft playthroughs?
Brother, I'm on Millennia.
Oh boy, that's fun.
I thought you would be surprised to hear that I'm that far in Elden Ring. You know what's
No, I mean,
crazy though
is
about
it-
the PlayStation?
What's up?
Brother, I am fighting Millennia right now, and my PlayStation is like, yeah, you're 50% of the way through the game. Hello?
I mean, yeah, it feels like you're farther than that. So.
So I think it's because for some reason, maybe in terms of like mandatory bosses, but it considers right when you get through like Leyendal and get to the mountaintop of the giants halfway. And it only counts like story stuff, and so it counts that as like halfway through the game, is when you're at that, which obviously is not halfway playtime, because like playtime wise, you spend a lot more time in Limgrave and Liurnia and Caelid than you do in the later areas because they're much bigger. There's a lot more small stuff, and that's when you're figuring out the small parts of your build and kind of getting your character ready. Right, like those three areas exist for you to build up your character to then take on the challenge of the rest of the game, right? Like that's like how the game is like intentionally structured. And so it's clearly doing just like maybe in terms of like bosses, and they get shorter as it goes. But it's just really funny to be fighting Millennia, who I know is like the hard secret extra boss in the game, like near the end, and have the game be like, yeah, you're halfway done. Like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Don't lie to me. But yeah, I mean, I only gave her a couple tries because, you know, it's gonna be a long one, and you know, I got other stuff, and so I'm just gonna kind of, I'm just gonna do it, and we'll see. But
yeah,
I've been doing magic, and it's hard using magic against some of those bosses just because they destroy like summons too quickly, like spirit ashes too quickly, and they are really good about dodging any spells, so you just like kind of are fucked. Like there's the glint blade that they dodge when you cast it, but it
oh my god,
but that spell's like kind of lame and not very good compared to like other. It's a whole thing. But yeah, that's going well. I finished Horizon Zero Dawn also.
Oh shit, how was that?
Brother, I turned that game difficulty down 2 notches and stopped doing side stuff because I was having so little fun.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't seem like a fun game, honestly.
So here's one of my biggest problems with that game. I think that like at the beginning, and I do think at points, and I think if I had continued to do more side stuff and maybe had been enjoying it more and given the game more, I could have gotten more out of it. Because there were times where like I was doing small stuff, I was like, oh yeah, it is kind of cool here, and I didn't do a lot of side content. Like I only did 2 of like the big tall necks that even open up your map. Like my map was mostly cloudy for most of it. But like my biggest problem with that game is like imagine like an open world Monster Hunter. Where like fights don't take as long as Monster Hunter, but it feels like you're stuck doing the bow, but everything has a health bar, and it feels so dog shit hitting these fucking big ass, cool as fuck, admittedly robot dinosaurs, with a bow, where like the bow does the tiniest little tick of their health, and you shoot it, and you shoot, and you shoot, and you're running away, and you die in like 1 hit to them, and I was just like, I am not having fun playing this fucking game. And so at a certain point, I just wanted to finish it. I think I do want to try the second one at some point, and I think when I try that one, I will give a lot more of the side content more of a shot, I think. And I do think like that game looked really good, and there were some like cool things in it, and I thought some of the story stuff was like kind of interesting. But I was not that into that game. It was not probably my least favorite first party Sony game I've played.
Yeesh.
Like ever, I think. At least of like their big ones. And so I told a friend, like, I feel like I need to play Ghost of Tsushima because I know I'm gonna love that game. Like everything I've seen about it, I feel like I'm gonna vibe with that game. I'm gonna be chilling. You know, it's gonna be a great time. I need to play that game at some point to get like because like yes, Elden Ring is a open world game, but like that game does not follow traditional open world structure in terms of how it's done.
Jesus Christ.
You're not, you know, following your waypoint and ticking off your little encampments and your fucking side quests and your, you know what I mean? And like leveling up your skill tree and shit, and like it's not like it's closer to like open world Dark Souls than it is like Dark Souls added to a modern open world game, right? And so I need to play Ghost of Tsushima because that game, I'm sure I'm gonna love it just to like as a palate cleanser from Horizon because brother,
get the dog shit out your mouth.
Yeah, and I don't love Aloy, and it's look, I I'm sure Crafts. I don't know if you ever did watch, but do you remember ever watching like Hey Ash, What You're Playing way back in the day, like
No.
Ashley Birch? It was like an old like video game show, like internet show that I watched like in like the early 2010s, and like the
Okay.
girl from that is like now a very prominent voice actress, but she's
Yeah,
the main
no, I
character in
recognize the
Horizon.
name.
Yeah, and it's
Ah.
weird seeing Ashley Birch and things, just like hearing her voice. And I don't love Aloy. I didn't like any of the characters really. Like maybe the best character is like dead by the time everything starts. So it's just like I was not super into that game. Like it wasn't like awful, but it certainly wasn't great. Like I don't think. I mean, I think it's hard to replay open world games anyways, but I do not think I will ever touch that game again. I didn't even buy the DLC. Like I do not care. I will play the second one without touching that DLC. I didn't want anything more to do with that game by the time I was done. I only finished it probably just because like I didn't want
Thank
to
you.
because I had already
Just
tried
mash
the game
it.
and
Just
fallen
mash
off of
Y.
it. And I had no. If you hit the center of the heart enough times, they get more health. Don't just mash Y.
Oh, okay.
You're trolling your friends if you do that.
So we can't say Horizon is better than Breath of the Wild, the first one.
No, it's definitely not.
Fuck.
It is genuinely like look, I don't like Breath of the Wild. It is genuinely disgusting that people compare those games because Breath of the Wild fucking pisses on Horizon's grave. Like Horizon is not a real video game compared to fucking Breath of the Wild, which is like yeah, no, it's not even no. I was not a fan of Horizon. I did not like that game at all.
Oh wait, let's get more health.
Oh yeah, more potions.
Yeah.
Is that a store? No, that's just.
Okay, wait. I'm seeing. You hate open world games unless it's Yakuza or Baldur's Gate 3, but I don't know if they count. Baldur's Gate 3 does not count as an open world game. I think that is just an RPG, but like it's not like I think when you talk about like I think the same way that when you talk about like RPGs, people want to look for specific
just
like
that,
genre
okay.
trappings, you know, or like JRPG, people want to look for specific
Wait, I'm
genre
not
trappings in
getting
that.
me, I'm bad.
I think that most open world games are going to fit into
Oh, there we go.
the things that you'll see as similarities between Skyrim and Assassin's Creed, and really actually the things that are shared across every Ubisoft game. You know what I mean? Oh, we can go back and buy bombs. I didn't realize gamers wanted that. I think that's what I consider like an open world game, like really is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be like a Far Cry or an Assassin's Creed or a Ghost of Tsushima or, you know, a GTA, like something like that. You know what I mean? Just because like the game kind of lets you walk around the levels. Like I don't think Baldur's Gate is open world the same way, you know.
Man.
Like the same, I don't know, yeah, especially because like everything is in zones, and so you have to cross into different zones and through loading screens. That really, not that open world games can't have loading screens, but like that game just doesn't. It's not the same, you know. And
Which
you're
game
gated.
are you talking about?
No, because Baldur's Gate. Because also certain areas are gated off through story progress, where it like is literally like you get to this area, and that is when you are in this act. Like the areas you go into in Baldur's Gate 3 are decided by where in the story, but you're not moving through the whole game world the entire time, you know. Like you get to Act 2 and you're not going back to the druids in Act 1.
Okay, I'm about to fucking die.
The world doesn't get bigger as it opens up or as you progress through and get to new areas. It just you just go to different areas, you know. Not that you can't go back, but you know, the story pushes you through. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, Ubisoft have some good games, but it's not like I don't say that as like the top of the genre. Just I think they are the, you know, they're the like the most clear cut, easiest example of, you know, a modern open world game. Nobody does it like them, for better or for worse. Used to be for better.
Gotcha.
Dude, I
Yeah, it
miss
feels like they have like
Assassin's Creed
most
2.
of what makes open world games work, but like they also have like most of the stuff that makes them kind of
Well,
not
my
the best
biggest
at
problem
times.
with like a lot of the modern ones is they're just too big and too busy. Like they like overpopulate their shit, and they're so like the fact that like, because like okay, my favorite Ubisoft game probably is Assassin's Creed 2, which I got the platinum for that game in 20 hours.
Where
That's
am
like the
I?
perfect fucking
It's
length
not hard at all.
for an open
yeah.
world game. You know what I mean?
Or not,
Like,
yeah.
it takes me 20 hours of the content. I've seen literally everything in that game. My Ezio, I could go back to that save file. He is maxed the fuck out. He's the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like, that is, like, in my head, ideal. For an open, like, and not that there aren't great ones that are longer, but for a Ubisoft one where the gameplay is not very deep,
literally
and there
just
are
keep
things to
shooting,
get
man.
into for it, but you're mostly just kind of doing these different activities and stuff. Like 20 hours is fucking perfect, brother.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like more
genuinely, like-
games, even ones that aim to be big, need to be more comfortable being 20 to 30.
Yeah, and like the modern Assassin's Creed games, like Valhalla is like 160 hours to platinum.
Yeesh.
Is like,
I'm sorry.
A very like clear, I think, idea, because it's not like I think the Assassin's Creed games, like, there is more in them now than was in 2 for sure, but I don't think there's an extra 140,
all my potions by
120,
accident.
even 80 hours of like extra content in them, like, or extra depth or gameplay styles or whatever. It's just they're like, well, we're bigger, we can add more content. And like, I actually think that you can have a bigger world and still have it take 20-25 hours to complete and be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Elden Ring takes like 60-80 hours, and it's great. It has to do with, like, is the content deep enough for how much the game is? I think Ubisoft games are pretty, like, I think they're intentionally not super deep, but then they also make them way too long, where it's like you stop having fun, and it's like, well, I'm 25% of the way through this fucking game.
Yeah, stretching
Far Cry
out the
Blood
good bits of
Dragon
content
is a great example
in
of a
between
great
boring
game that-
things just kind of ruins it.
Yeah, because like, if a game like it is very hard, I think, to get like the most boring part of the Platinum Assassin's Creed 2 that you don't have to do, like, unless you're specifically trying to get all the achievements or whatever, is like the feathers. But you could do all of the real content in that game in probably 18 hours, and I don't think you would probably be bored once. You know what I mean? Because it's keeping you, like, it's different, it's varied, you're doing different stuff, you're moving around, it's a good time, and then you're done, and it's like, yeah, that's
Okay,
great.
I think these guys are just infinitely spawning.
Yeah, I think we should just keep going.
No, okay. I died.
Well, we gotta go help Nun.
Good luck, gamer.
Wait, why can't I?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
fucking
that's
stuck.
fair.
Like,
I'm
'cause
stuck too.
you're-
You gotta
you're-
come back up here. I can't come down. You gotta come up here. I'm stuck on, like, this plane.
Oh, I'm probably gonna die actually.
Okay, well, if you die, I'm just going.
I can't go. So.
Well, you
can't
can
move.
This guy's got
heal
potions.
if you want. Look at Craftsdwarf fighting tooth and nail to save
Dude, Crafts
me.
is him right now. Yeah, I think Far Cry Blood Dragon is a great example also of a really short
He's gonna
Ubisoft game
succeed.
that, like, cannot get boring because it's just so
Yeah,
perfectly...
I literally can't move from this spot at all. Can you?
Can you
so
move down?
No.
Let them kill you then, I guess?
No, Craftsdwarf's not that type of guy. He doesn't take the easy way out. He understood
so you can't come down,
Madoka.
but you can't come.
Yeah, I can't move other than left and right
Well,
on the plane. I mean,
well,
we could exit to the map, I guess, and
yeah, that's the only thing I can think to do.
in which case we gotta go back and buy more potions, game.
Yeah, because we already lost so many.
The buttons are confusing me because, like, I keep thinking X is the jump button, so I keep pressing that and I'm using all my potions.
That was fun.
So okay. So that's actually a big thing. I actually will push back on that.
Where the fuck?
I don't think the Arkham games
Oh, there it is. There we go.
are technically that short in terms of the way I was talking about the Assassin's Creed game. Okay, so obviously Assassin's Creed games are also like 60 hours nowadays. But, like, for example, right? Like yeah, they're 8 hours to do the story, but if you want to do everything in the Arkham games, those Riddler trophies take fucking forever, and there's so many of them, and there's like
Would
a lot
you?
more side content. And I mean that, like, in a good way for the Arkham games. I think those are generally good open worlds, which is why I am hesitant to immediately throw Suicide Squad in the, like, dog shit, this game's gonna be ass. Like, I really want that game to be fucking sick
Get
and
off me,
nasty and
bro.
good, because
Them
like
saying that
Rocksteady's
the
other
story's
games and-
coming later in an update was really, like, that turned me off quite a bit.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
I'm sure it'll
curious to
still
see
be
how much
fun,
of that
but,
is.
like, what the
Well,
fuck?
I wonder how much of that story is like. Is it going to be extra story after the game, or is it going to be like, part of the narrative arc of the game? I think is what defines that, right? Is it DLC or is it important like mandatory story content? I would hope for a game that's been in development for 7 years that what's there on launch is complete and that it's like extra stuff coming later, which would be fine.
I feel like they would have described it differently. Like if that's what they meant, they should have said it in a different way. Like I feel like they really opened themselves up to misinterpretation with the way they said that shit.
Maybe I'm not positive. I also think that like, hearing that like the game is mostly like movement based as opposed to like shooting mechanic based is maybe exciting. Like I'm gonna play that game for sure because I've played I think all the bad superhero multiplayer games at this point.
Yeah, bro.
And I have to keep that shit
was
going.
the one Avengers
whether it's good
guy.
or bad. I've played Avengers, I've played Gotham Knights. It's like I got to, whether it's good or bad, I have to fucking play it.
Respectable.
What makes him good and bad? I have no
You've
idea.
got the
I would have
games.
to-
Craftsdwarf
I
got
would
the
have to like
MCU.
genuinely fucking you'd have to like dig into open world games going back to like fucking like Morrowind probably. Play every Bethesda. That's like a genuine, that's a hard question. What makes him good and bad? I think a short answer,
I feel like that has a lot to do with personal preference now. Like,
yeah, I think,
because like one thing you could say is like some people would like hear like, oh, it has a really amazing story, and some people would think of that as like, oh, objectively really good. But Breath of the Wild doesn't have an amazing story, but people still really love that game, and it doesn't necessarily take away from it being good. Even Tears of the Kingdom, like I don't think that game has a really great story or anything, but
and I complain.
Vindy, hit that mushroom and get food.
Brother, I have like 4 potions. I was fine.
I know, but you're low on health.
Yeah, but I got the potions.
You could have saved a potion. Craftsdwarf was just trying to help you out. But yeah, I feel like even with like basic elements of like, an open world game needs X, you could dispute that by like, there's probably an open world game that doesn't have that, but it's still like really good.
Yeah.
Because personally, for me, a story does really help like an open world game, but like, it's definitely not the case for everyone. Like, I don't even think people care about the story of what the fuck's that game called? What is that called?
Which one?
Elder Scrolls? Not Elder Scrolls. What is the other? Skyrim. Yeah. Do people?
Elder Scrolls, brother.
I mean, yeah, but I wanted to be more specific.
I think. I mean, like, not everyone cares about like the story quest, but I think, it depends what you consider. I think in a game like Skyrim, it's like, what do you consider the main story? Are you specifically talking about like the main story quests? What about like the side quests that have like 10-hour-long quest chains, right? Because that's like the thing about like Elder Scrolls games is like, yeah, there's the main story, but you can go join a faction, and that faction's gonna have a 10-15 hour long potentially quest line to do that is pretty involved and detailed. And sure, it's not the main story, but like people are still doing.
That's true. People are still like invested in that
narrative writing in the game. So I think it's hard to. I think it would be hard to argue that people in some way don't engage directly with the story of Skyrim. Unless you're specifically talking about like the main story quest, in which case, yeah, probably people don't care that much.
I mean, I did have that in mind when I was thinking about it, but like that still counts, the side stuff having stories.
Yeah, like I agree that like, people don't care about the story in Far Cry, and that like abandoned outpost in Far Cry, same way as like just like a random cave or dungeon in Skyrim isn't story. But if it's tied to a narrative quest where you're having to go do dialogue to get into it and meeting characters and it's following along the last 4 or 5 hours of character content, and you've got more coming, then
Yeah, I mean, like, part of what, like, also made me realize, like, oh, yeah, that's a super fair point, is the fact that some people are more invested in Cyberpunk's side stuff than the main story. Even though the main story is, like, really, like, genuinely an actual story for sure. But, like, some people just find the side content more interesting overall for the world. Which makes sense. Especially with, like, even, like, edge runners deciding to adapt, like, the, what the fuck? The cyber psychosis as like a really main thing of the show, when in the game that is not at all really a main
Well, it's even changed. Yeah, it's even changed though how cyber psychosis shows up in the game now, because now you can actually become a you can take shit to be a cyber psycho, and they've added it into gameplay. I'm sure in part because Edge Runners was so,
Yeah.
But we're doing something wrong, or I mean, I guess the enemies are changing, but it still feels weird.
I think there's just a lot of enemies, brother. I think we're just fighting.
Okay.
I think because we're nearing the end of the game wants to make us feel like we are battling the odds.
Maybe, yeah. It's just been so long since I played it, I don't remember for sure how it went. So yeah.
Tooth and nail.
Oh yeah, they're actually thing out.
Do I think open world has lost some of its meaning? No. I think RPG always had a very nebulous meaning once it got adapted to games, because the reason it kept RPG ultimately was because it was a video game version of something like a tabletop RPG. But I think that video games, even some more recent ones, still kind of have, Baldur's Gate feels the closest to it, but still is not actually at the same level that a real RPG game or a real role play is going to give you, right? And so I think that RPG has always kind of been more so about, in video game terms, I would argue it's on some level the abstraction you have to make between what's going on in the game and what the narrative you're building for your head, right? And so that happens in Baldur's Gate 2, where the game gives you choices to make with your character, but if you're going to make a character and play them and actually role play that character, you still have to actively in your head put in a little bit of the in-between about what's going on in this role play and how is the character growing and changing, because that's not as visible in the so realistically for video games, I think RPG is always just kind of meant more you could even just argue that it means that the numbers and stats are directly shown to you. The game gives you the numbers and lets you play with them, as opposed to hiding the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's maybe the best, but I
definitely think of that as part of why are games as completely different as Kingdom Hearts, Baldur's Gate 3, and Final Fantasy 1 considered even remotely.
Yeah, they give you the numbers.
Same genre, right? Exactly. Yeah. So.
That's probably the closest thing to keep RPGs in line from other things.
Okay, I think you can let them die.
You could even call this on some
I haven't
level
had
RPG,
enough
right?
yet.
It gives us some numbers. I think RPG is a very
I've had enough.
Again, a nebulous term, because its reason for being keeping RPG is not because it was really if someone had just made Ultima off rip for a computer, there's no telling it for sure would have been called a role-playing game, the same way that you call a role-playing game like you called D&D a role-playing game, because that was what they named the genre almost after what they made, right?
Yes.
I think open world, really it shouldn't be a genre. The problem is it's also a thing that's two terms, right? It's a tag and a genre. There's open world as a genre, where you get something like Far Cry or Assassin's Creed, the ones we've been talking about. They're yes, they're shooters, and it's an FPS and a third-person action game, but also the genre they are heavily fitting themselves in is open world, where it's following into specific genre crafting.
Yeah. One is
the game's entire structure is based around that, and then you have I think a game like Elden Ring, which has an open world around it, but it's an action RPG. You know what I mean?
Well, I think one way to look at it is shooter is how you engage with it, and then open world is more about the structure of the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
A rail shooter and a open world shooter play even though they have a same core mechanic of aim and shoot, how you the way those games unfold is very different, right? So yeah, you're right.
I agree, Kuropiko, every game is open world in some sort, but I don't also think that's the case. And I think that especially in modern times, you can just use what they're doing with in a modern video game, loading screens. If a game has loading screens, it's not open world. And you know what? That includes fucking Starfield. That game blows cock. It's got zones. If you have loading screens between your shit, that's zones. That is not an open world. I think in the modern day with modern technology, brother, if your game is open world, that world is fucking open. and that's like the biggest difference nowadays. And that's really where it is.
I feel like it says something that even like Sega was smart enough to not call Frontiers an open world game. Like they specifically kept saying this is open zone.
Yeah.
Like I feel like other people should be more comfortable doing that.
Open world is open world, motherfucker. That world is open. You can't tell me, oh, it's open world, but you got loading screens every 10 seconds. Brother, that is not an open world. That's a closed, like... I'm just playing like fucking, like... I might as well be playing like Mario and transitioning between screens of that.
Oh, God. Craftsdwarf stole all the shit? Or was that Vindy?
That was Vindy.
It's open worlds. That's fair. But yeah, I mean, and I think, you know, it's weird, and obviously, like, all, like, terms like that are nebulous, because things stand as individuals, and, you know, you try to, not only do we try to fit them into these boxes to make it easier for us, they fit themselves into boxes to make it easier, you know, or executives fit them in the boxes
marketing or creators, right?
Yeah, and also just, like, it helps if you're making a game, and, you know, I'm making a first-person shooter, you kind of have a conventional, or you're making a platformer, you have a conventional control scheme you can make your game into that's gonna make it easier for a random person to pick up and play and have a good time because it's going to fit the control scheme that, you know what I mean? So there are reasons, but
I have a proposal.
What?
We start calling games that aren't actually open world but similar to it open land. Like Disney World and Disneyland. Disneyland's the smaller one. Disney World's the big
open
one.
Land.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's great, actually.
Have you beaten Starfield?
I do not think older. Hold on. Okay, I don't think older GTA games have loading screens, and I will make an exception for interiors. So Skyrim is open world because you can walk from one section of the map to the other section of the map, as long as you don't go inside any buildings, right? It's only trying to go in buildings that cause loading screens. And again, the other argument, like, for Skyrim that I made was I mentioned with modern technology, Skyrim's 13 years old, brother. Technically 12, but it'll be 13 this year, you know? That is not a modern technology game. That game is running on hardware that came out in 2005.
What? Why did... Oh, my fucking controller died or something? Hold on.
You know? It's essentially a game that came out to run on 20... What is currently today 20-year-old hardware. You know, you can't judge it by modern standards. So I think the fact that, like, the game's design was very clearly to have a world that feels open, right? You see somewhere, you can go there. Starfield doesn't get that. Like, I'm not gonna give Starfield that whatever, like that benefit of the doubt, because it's on modern technology, and like games like No Man's Sky exist, you know. And obviously Starfield's probably doing more in its areas, but it just, like, you don't get the excuses for a 2023 video game that I will gladly give a 2011 video game. You know?
Wait, what's the block
because you can go longer in Skyrim and cover more of the game world without seeing a loading screen. You have to jump it.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. So.
Oh shit, that was yeah, that's really fast.
Oh, I shouldn't have jumped that.
Oh, yeah. Someone else take the fall. Fail so I can live. Thank you. Oh fuck. I did it?
Oh my god, you jumped it. Fuck, I thought you were gonna take it, so I didn't jump it.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather talk about, like, distinguishing open world games and RPGs, because that just sounds like hell.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, I mean, you know, and I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, but so I was kind of just bullshitting with what I was saying, but, like, I do feel like that with RPG, where it's like, you know, it's like Ultima and shit was basing itself off of tabletop role-playing games, so they borrowed the name role-playing game, but they were always going to be, like, not real role-playing games from, like, you know, like, early role-playing games are not real role-playing games in the same way, especially, you know, I'm sure you feel strongly about that on some level, like, as someone who actually, you know, engages more with the role-play side of it, right? That, like, you know, you play, like, an early CRPG, and, like, yeah, you can't, like, it's always going to be this abstraction that you're doing. I think I do that a lot.
Oh, God.
It's something I think JRPGs playing a lot of like the older Final Fantasies this year helped me with, brother, you get so bored of seeing that same like battle animation at a certain point, you start making it up in your head like this is probably what it looks like, you know? Because there's like just nothing on the screen. And so it's just weird with RPGs.
Well, yeah, I was also gonna say because I've heard that for Japanese tabletop, I don't know if it's still the case or if it's, but there's just like less. The players are less like about having open things to do and more about like the storyline. Like it's almost like, I guess there's sort of like a culture thing. Like sort of you can even compare between like JRPGs and Western RPGs.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that's also the case with Japanese tabletop. To a degree, I don't know how true it is. I heard this years ago. It could just be a completely wrong-headed case, but it's interesting to think about because because you're saying like, oh, even nowadays RPGs don't have the openness of like D&D and stuff, like actual D&D, which is true, but it's also like if that's not a priority in every tabletop game, because even D&D has lots of modules and stuff, right, that you can.
But I would still argue that there's more inherent openness in D&D because you sit players down with a problem and they, no matter what solution they have, even if they're using a system as a guidebook, they have to come up with the solution to that problem in their head and tell it to the DM, who then fits it on the framework. Versus in a video game, your solution is always going to a problem is always going to be. Even Baldur's Gate, which I think gets better with that than most games I've ever played. And I think Tears of the Kingdom is also a game this year that does a stellar job of allowing you to actually genuinely use your head and think, and then try to adapt what you think to the game. For the most part, video games are still very much, you come up with when you are outfitted with a problem, you think of solutions in terms of what are my options in the game, not just like, what is the problem, and your brain comes up with something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Because honestly, it's just how I mentally tend to think of it is like, because obviously like there's discussion lately about like if the term JRPG still met, because obviously like just if you look at it raw, it's like, okay, is it a Japanese RPG, which is like, sure, for a time period that might have made it mattered, but nowadays I think it's way less important. Right? Because it's not really helpful. It's not really helpful to call Dark Souls. I mean, Monster Hunter doesn't have levels, so I don't really consider it a JRPG, but it does have stats still. So an RPG in general. Not I said JRPG, but I meant RPG in general, right? So, but then like but also just Dark, like compared, Dark. If you're playing like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy. Oh, if you love JRPGs, you should play Dark Souls. Like, well, I mean, they're completely different games, right? Like if you played Final Fantasy VI and Dark Souls, right? So
I know you're not gonna know games like this, but just like as an example, like it's not helpful to call Dark Souls a JRPG the same way it's not helpful to make the distinction that a game like Sea of Stars or Chained Echoes isn't a JRPG.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't recognize those two.
I know you don't, but they are like, I can assume you can gather they're Western-made JRPGs that are very heavily following in the.
Yes, well, I mean, my go-to Western JRPG is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on the Game Boy Color, because it's straight up like turn-based battles and.
Ombre, I kind of assumed he wasn't going to care for it. I don't know if he's played.
You don't have to worry about me.
The honest answer is like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and I'm sorry, Craftsdwarf is too old for someone to hand him Grand Theft or Devil May Cry and say, "Here you go, old man. I hope you have fun pressing 3 buttons to dodge."
What?
Have fun like learning how to actually get your style meter up. He's not gonna do that. He's too old for that. There's a much higher chance he would vibe with something like Kingdom Hearts, which ultimately, like,
I much prefer it when a game just gives me a challenge and the goal is to beat the challenge, not like I'm already fucking disappointment to my dad. I don't need a game constantly judging me too.
Whoa.
Oh, you're just talking about the style meter. I mean,
the challenges the game offers you aren't really that interesting on their own.
Actually, I disagree with that. I think that's dependent on difficulty.
I don't care that much, so that's fair. Okay.
But I think that the style meter actually exists more as a way to teach you how to play the game, as opposed to like if you're playing Devil May Cry and you are having fun just doing the same sword combo over and over. I think that says more about you as a gamer than it does about Devil May Cry as a game.
Fuck you! I had the same idea.
Yeah, but I have a higher archery stat.
And that's not to say that
Leave me
that says more about you as a
alone!
gamer and you're disgusting and despicable. I don't think Devil May Cry is for every gamer. Devil May Cry is for the kind of guy that when he played with his toys as a kid, he would try to make his toys fights have sick fucking choreography.
We definitely had some of that. Well, and I definitely cared more about the story. Like I remember one of my sort of go on.
Like I remember like playing around with my toys and it was like they were flipping around and jumping off buildings and shit. Imaginary buildings, but still. Like that's how my toys would play. So you put me in DMC, once I get a grasp with my head over all the actions I can do, that's what I'm doing. And I'm jumping around, I'm pulling enemies around, I'm taunting, I'm like doing that with my toys inside DMC. But it also, you gotta. I think that genuinely the biggest thing to help me most recently going back to DMC is playing a bunch of fighting games. Because like DMC is like the closest I've ever played to having a video game. Just play like a fucking fighting game, actually.
I'm really good.
That's my thing, because like I could get better at the game and learning combos and stuff, but like fundamentally it's just there's already just nothing here in the game for me. Like I don't care about the story or characters or the general like gameplay loop, but there's just nothing that
I think the gameplay loop is fun. It's really fucking fun when you put like it is a game that the more you get into it, the more you get out of it, just purely in terms of how much fun it is. So like I'm not gonna say you're wrong for not finding it fun, but I will say you're not finding it fun because you're not pushing the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. I'd rather push it.
No, and I'm not trying to say you're wrong for that. I'm just going to clarify that the reason you're not finding the game fun genuinely
do you want me to navigate? Because you have no idea where you're going. I don't know who's moving right now.
You're like it is because of your input. It was the same thing I was saying with Horizon, where I think if I put more into that game, I probably could have gotten more out of it, but I didn't want to put more in. I'm not saying you have to put more into DMC. Just if you did, you would absolutely get more out of DMC.
Big DMC guy.
Because that's just how the game is. That's a game where you like that game wants you to push it and try to just like do whatever you can and like just really. Like it's hard to explain. You just push that game and you stress test it and you do cool shit. But you have to be the kind of person when you're playing a game that you're like, I wonder if I could do this into this. Like you got to like you're labbing that shit constantly and just like it's not a. I think it's probably DMC 5, especially. I think of that type of games is like genuinely one of the best games of all time. Like it is the standout of like third-person action games. Like it is the gold standard.
Unless you're playing V, in which case I just want to kill myself. But
V fucking blows cock.
Thank God, I'm so fucking glad.
Mega
my fucking God. I was literally playing this character like I can understand why people like the game. I don't understand why anyone would like playing V. It's like how the fuck
it has
to
be liking puppet characters or poetry, but no, I agree. V blows fat, big,
I was
steamy
just playing
loads.
This character just mashing triangle and circle or square until my fucking thumb hurt, and I was just like, why would I don't even understand why the people who like this game would enjoy this character.
Only benefit to V is that it's very easy to get S ranks on V, so you don't have to run missions a lot.
Yeah. Thank God. I'm so glad to feel vindicated there.
I played the game like twice when it came out, and then didn't play through the campaign again for years because I didn't want to have to play as V, and I only played Bloody Palace. And then when I got the PS5 version, I played the story like 3 times. But and that's when I found a little bit more to like in V. I still don't like his mission. Okay, I think V now, and especially when you buy his upgrades and get him start getting a bunch of upgrades on him.
Yeah, see, I didn't even waste my upgrades because I was just like, well, I'd rather spend money on the characters I actually like slightly enjoy playing.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. I think V is fine to fun in group encounters. He has a move where you can like cane every enemy in like a big thing. So the plan instead with V is like you get, if there's like 20 enemies, you get them all like just pure white, and then you throw the cane at all of them. And that is one of the best feeling things I've ever done in any video game. Okay. I have like a video saved. I saved on my PlayStation. I did it because I took out a room of like 20 enemies, and it puts you instantly at triple S. And so like the music's going, it's like, oh my God, that feels fucking awesome. I'm the goat, right? And it's really fun. Oh my God, I fucking love this level, dude. I love this guy. I might change my profile picture on Discord to this guy. But I think bosses on V are terrible. Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't think I could see. So I mean, you did play the other games, but I think especially in 5, when you get style switching and all the weapons, Dante is too much of a crackhead character. Like, I still am scared by Dante.
Oh yeah, well, I was playing Dante, and then like I went back to Nero, and I was like, well, I could just be playing Dante, like you know, that kind of
Dante
feeling.
sometimes is too much for me because I find
okay.
I'm always getting in my own head about not switching styles enough. But Nero, I feel like I do a good job in incorporating, especially currently, most of his moveset and most of what he can do, and like actually really getting a lot out of Nero. But Dante, I still feel like I'm like getting like maybe 30%, maybe 20%. Because he has 2 devil trigger gauges and style switching and weapon switching.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like Dante, just like, I don't think I'm snorting enough Adderall for him yet. And that's fine. Dante is like a work in progress, right? I've been playing DMC5 on and off for whatever, you know, 5 years, 6 years at this point. However, it came out in 2019, right? So 5 years. But I still don't, and not that much. I think I probably have like 40, 50 hours in it, maybe 60, but yeah, Dante's scary.
Did you already play DMC, like the remake one?
Game, I don't care.
Have self-respect.
You skipped it? The fuck?
Skipped what? The gacha? Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's good to know.
DMC, like
Oh yeah, no,
the Dante with white
all
hair.
Of them.
Okay.
Yes. Or black hair.
Did you see
Black
Ombre's
hair,
message
man.
about Persia?
Sorry, I was trying to respond to a different comment. What?
I was asking None if he saw Ombre's message about Persia, the next the next period.
Oh, okay.
Let me see what he said.
He just said that now that you're close to finishing Creamy Mommy, Persia, the next period Magical Girl shows subs are available for the whole series if you want to go by release order.
I mean, I'm not gonna watch it. Like, I'm not gonna watch more of them anytime soon.
Also,
just because, like,
sorry,
Creamy Mommy is 52 episodes, so like, I'm not trying to jump right into another one. And by the end of Creamy Mommy, like, I still like it, but there was like a few episodes here and there where I wasn't like as invested. Partially because I just binged like Attack on Titan, so I wasn't in the mood to go back just yet. But I don't want to force myself to like watch a thing right now.
Also, to Tanya, not only do I think Crafts has already played it, but don't recommend Metal Gear Rising to someone who hasn't played Metal Gear. Like, what is wrong?
Well, so like, no, I did like it not having played Metal Gear, and it made me interested in playing Metal Gear, and I really need to. But also, Jacob Geller's video on Metal Gear Rising, like in the first 5 minutes, he literally kind of explains why, or it explains in a way that makes sense as to like why I don't click with Devil May Cry as much, and while Metal Gear, you know, because why he likes Metal Gear's combat, or because like it's just super aggressive and it kind of doesn't want you to stop, where DMC is really technical, and like that's cool and all, but like what I was trying to say earlier that I don't think I managed to get out was that like if I'm gonna spend time like learning combos and shit, it's gonna be on like a fighting game, because I've actually never really gotten into a serious fighting game that wasn't, you know, Smash, right? So I'd rather like try a new genre instead of like, you know, where Devil May Cry, it's like I finished the game. I'm done,
it's hard to
in
be
my
as
mind,
incentivized in a single player game where nobody can see you learning all this shit partially.
So, here's what I'll say is that I don't think Devil May Cry is a game you really have to learn combos. It's more about just being able to keep all the moves you have in your head and knowing where you can go next. Because like fighting game combos, the reason like you have to learn a combo route is because not every move goes into every move, right? In Devil May Cry, moves, as long as it hits someone, you can chain a move into a move. So it's not like
I see what you mean, yeah.
So that's what I meant about like it's the experimentation and just being in the game and playing it. It's way more, what do I have access to in this moment? What combination, what button, what moves can I use? Where am I? What's the situation I'm in? And how do I situationally like play this out? That's where I think fighting games help. It's not about combos. It's about situations and being able to know I am this character and I am I have these moves available to me right now that I can do. And situationally, the moves in DMC are very situationally good, the same way fighting game attacks are situationally good. Where like you might have like your like crouching heavy kick or crouching heavy punch is like really good as an anti-air, but really terrible if you're crouching in front of someone. So you like have to know, you know, maybe like this ability I have is like phenomenal against this enemy when they're doing this, but it's not, you know what I mean? It's more about just like the way that like everything in your all your moves have a use. It's just knowing them and being able to keep them all in your head at one time, as opposed to, I don't think you really need to like practice out. Like you can, and there are people that do practice like really crazy DMC combos, but I don't think that's where the sauce of the game is.
Okay.
It really is just like, and then it's the technical, like being able to meet the technical demand, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm definitely not gonna do with my arthritis ass old man hands. So
I was just thinking that. Glad you said it.
And that is actually very similar to doing combos, but not in terms of like learning it. Just like the lesson that you learn doing fighting game combo, or that I had to teach myself doing fighting game combos, is the same, which is just like keep pressing the fucking buttons. Like don't wait till you know you're done from this attack to do the next. Be ready to do the fucking attack and keep pressing the fucking buttons on your hands. You know what I mean? Like, don't wait for the game, the visual from the game to show me I'm done from the...
No, alien hominoid.
This attack, you know. You just run through that bitch.
Is this like the last level?
Yeah, I think that is either you haven't played Metal Gear or that's a mega cope to think most people know Metal Gear's story.
I know
I have known nothing about it.
I think most people know 15% of the Metal Gear story and think that 15% is the Metal Gear story. I think that the actual Metal Gear story is all of the wild, wacky, small things that happen that people don't talk about, and the 20 hours of cutscenes, and it's, you know, you play 15, you watch a 15-minute cutscene, play 15 minutes of gameplay, watch another 15-minute cutscene. That's the Metal Gear story, and I think that saying like, most people know it, it's not fucking Mario. It's not like even Star Wars. Like, most people know like the very broad strokes. Most people don't know the Metal Gear story. You know, like most people wouldn't be able to just off rip tell you who Lolly Lulelo is. And I think that's pretty fucking important to Metal Gear.
Person?
Most people could tell you, yeah, Solid Snake is the son of Big Boss, and Big Boss.
I didn't know that. He's literally spoiling me.
Shut up, brother. That's like 40-year-old
see,
spoilers.
I don't like this because it's just so much like visual noise. It's like hard to tell what the fuck's happening.
I agree, actually.
All the dead bodies, yeah.
That's spoilers for like Metal Gear fucking.
Oh wait, he's my enemy.
Metal Gear from the MSX. You're supposed to know that from Metal Gear Solid, and you're not playing Metal Gear 1, really.
I am.
No, you're not. Crafts will. You're not.
None. Yeah.
Also, Crafts, I don't know if you're going to. I don't know if you're
15
planning
minutes.
to.
So
please pull up a guide whenever you go to play Metal Gear 1. Just pull up a fucking guide. That game is that is not a game you, and especially Metal Gear 2 is not a game you play without a guide. Unless you want to learn, like literally, I'm just like being honest. Unless you want to learn special forces, coding, like like a language for like knocking on a metal door and like speaking language, play with a fucking guide, please.
What?
Okay, well, so I'm not opposed to using guides. Like, I've been playing old Shin Megami Tensei games, and a lot of them have some stuff that I would consider obtuse by modern standards, and certainly not really accessible. But I probably would have tried to use a guide, or tried it without a guide at first, and then when I get stuck, is usually how I do it. Anyway, to say, the only reason I haven't played it yet is just because I already started a bunch of other franchises that I want to finish first. I do have the PS3 collection. So I have access to the whole franchise basically, except for I even bought 5 and all those games on PC during a sale. So.
With you. That's crazy. Not about the Library of Urania. I do agree with you, Kuro, that most people just absorb Metal Gear through like the memes.
I don't know what's going on.
But no, I think saying like. And sorry, I just think really quickly, Crafts, to follow up on
the only reason I know anything about Metal Gear is because of the Christian shit. That's literally the only thing I know. I think, well, yeah, but you're an anomaly, right? Like you didn't even know that like Darth Vader was like Luke Skywalker's father. I did. I was just fucking with you.
No, I believe it.
Okay.
So.
Well, I will say, in regards to Metal Gear Rising, I thought that as someone who had never played a Metal Gear game before, I still understood its own story. Like, I'm bigger stuff I wouldn't like obviously I didn't really know Raiden's character, but I think it's like it's it works to a degree as a standalone thing. Like I was still able to get and enjoy the characters and the story for what it was in its own context. It's not because I know people have problems with it in a larger context. So
yeah, no, I understand that. Here's the biggest reason I think just like telling someone like Crafts to just play, like being like play MGR, play MGR, play MGR. You play Devil May Cry, play MGR, brother. You know who Craftsdwarf is, and like one of the core themes of MGR is like memes in the exact same way that Kojima said the core theme of Metal Gear 2 is memes, right? Not the funny haha memes, but like meme is in like a anthropological idea that gets spread, right?
Well, like how Jacob Geller put it is like Metal Gear Rising is literally just Metal Gear 2 without this it's just the subtext is for cowards is how he put it, which was funny.
That's and like I know that's how he's framing the video, and he would probably agree with this as well.
Sure there's
it's also a creator going back to an idea like 10 years later to retake a look at a theme and an idea that they looked at previously, as that idea only grew and became more relevant with time.
And his whole video is about how it literally became more relevant after the fact too. Like 3 years, you mentioned, specifically mentions 3 years before Donald Trump's campaign.
And so it's so like I think that just like spamming people to play like and then acting like it's like playing fucking Paper Mario without playing fucking like Super Mario Brothers, I think is really disingenuous for what Metal Gear is and the kind of story it tells, and that leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, no, because like you even mentioned like how I play games. It's like if I hadn't played Metal Gear Rising, if I were to ever play it today, it would be after playing all the other Metal Gear games. So that, or maybe not every single one, but at least like the important ones, right? So.
Dude, Crafts is a goat, by the way, and will play Acid. I need to put Acid on my Vita because I want to play Acid. Mainly just for that art, brother.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of Chris Redfield, I got fucking RE8 for free today. And I started that shit up, and that guy has built like a brick shithouse in that game.
Cool. Also, I don't like.
Yeah, well, in terms of gameplay, not story, but you're not. Yes. But did you miss the part where Craftsdwarf said that what mattered to him most was the story and the characters, and then you're like, play Metal Gear Rising? Like, you can't just say, well, I meant that he should play Metal Gear Rising because it sounds like what he wants from DMC's story. When the first part of that was also that what matters most to him is that he cares about the story, and it is a continuation of another game's story.
But I want that.
No, Craftsdwarf, don't.
I want the meat.
Please, I'm being a jackass. Let me continue.
Okay,
gotcha, fuck is the other one?
It's gone.
Okay.
Make sure Craftsdwarf plays Snatcher and Police Knots. Brother, do those have fucking good translations?
I feel like Snatcher does. People talk about that so much that I would be surprised if it doesn't.
So I think Snatcher, from my understanding, the Saturn version has a translation, but does the fucking PS1 version have a translation? Because like they're so as the Snatcher as the versions of Snatcher were on better and better hardware. Like, is there like a good like version of the PS1 version of Snatcher and the PS1 version of Police Knots with subs? Because if so, my ass needs to play them. Dude, we're fucking gamers.
Oh, but yeah, also to Tanya saying that it's like a Gridman situation with the other Kojima games that makes me more interested in playing them.
Yeah, I mean, Craftsdwarf literally got stuff more out of Gridman by experiencing the Toku one, like the original. Like he has a video on it. Like, of course he would still consume all of it.
And so I think what they're saying with that is that Police Knots and Snatcher are like Gridman.
Add to Metal Gear.
Oh, okay. I thought they were saying
Gear.
that about,
okay, not that Metal Gear games are like Snatcher to MGR. The Police Knots and Snatcher are like the other Gridman stuff to...
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
To Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, that's definitely... Because, I mean, I was already interested in Death Stranding just because it seems so
but
like,
I think y'all are being...
But, yeah.
Unless I'm wrong on time, y'all are being a little bit silly saying you should play Police Knots before Metal Gear 1 and 2. If I'm not wrong...
Oh, I probably look at the timeline.
I was going to say, if I'm not wrong, it was Snatcher, Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2, Police Knots, Metal Gear Solid. But it might have been Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2, Snatcher, Police Knots, Metal Gear Solid. So Don't play Penguin's fucking Adventure 2 or Penguin's Revenge 2, whatever the fucking shitty Penguin game he made was. I think it was that, and then
I
Metal Gear 1,
don't think
actually.
I need that to understand his ethos.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I
Oh,
think it
does
actually
he-
was Metal Gear
wait.
next. So make sure you play them in order and play Snatcher and Police Knots for Metal Gear Solid, not for Metal Gear 1, like these fucking jokers are telling you.
What
Jesus.
is this shield that he's doing?
Oh, wait. Is it... There we go. Okay, I'm bad. I got you. Okay, never mind. I'm really bad.
Just mash. I don't care.
Teehee.
Thank you.
Okay, you mean alongside. That makes sense.
I don't know what's going on in this boss.
So
round.
if we
Just take
hit him,
advantage.
he hits all of us.
Maybe we have to use magic on him? Question mark.
Well, I can't tell because the colors
Magic
keep
does
changing,
not
and I
work
can't.
against them. It hits
Oh.
all of us as well.
I think maybe it changes based on the
Sneak
color,
along.
but it changes so fast. I don't understand how. Like, how the fuck are we supposed to do anything? I don't understand. Like, I feel like there's like, oh, if you hit him with a melee or a magic based on the color, but like again, there's
Brother,
so
if
many.
you don't even know the
Yeah.
name of the game, I don't think you can call him fake for skipping it. Okay, so is blue supposed to be we use magic?
Oh yeah, I never talked about finishing Attack
No,
on
we can't hit
Titan.
him.
How much of Attack on Titan have you read, Vindy? Because
Is
I
it
know
based
you were
on
close to
player?
finishing it.
Am
No.
I spoiling? Am I not? What's going
I've
on?
already finished it, so you wouldn't spoil anything.
For Chad
me.
as well. Has Chat finished it?
I mean, Craftsdwarf hasn't. So.
I don't
Do you
care.
care, Craftsdwarf? Okay. So then I guess
You-
for
you-
people in
you
chat,
can say in a
Attack
very
on Titan
vague
spoilers
way.
in just 1 second. No, I have to be actually really direct to tell you where I am because I don't remember the small things. I just remember the one big thing that happened.
I can break it down.
No, I want to break it.
No.
Please. Attack on Titan spoilers in 3, 2.
This
okay,
guy's
so
crazy.
He got his fucking head blown off. And then he was like in the funny area with Historia and was maybe doing the rumbling or something, and then I just stopped reading. I didn't care anymore. I saw like the chapter, like the last. So I read like the chapter after, but the last chapter I remember was like, you know, he like gets his fucking head blown off, and so you see his head.
Yeah,
and
I know what part you're
Mikasa's
talking
diving
about.
to catch it. Yeah.
You
And
could
then
have
he's in
said
the
that.
funny area.
Oh my, this kid. You didn't
Brother,
have to
I
spoil
probably
that
got
to
dog
that
shit.
extent.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I actually think the ending isn't good. So, God, I really want to spoil it because I want to explain exactly
what
why I think
happens.
it's
I know
not
what
good.
happens.
No,
Explain it to me.
I can't.
Tell me.
Craftsdwarf,
please.
do
I'm
you
not touching anytime soon.
truly not care about AOT spoilers?
Nope.
I need to see if the chat cares about AOT spoilers. I'll wait a couple seconds. I mean, I guess I could talk about what I liked about it.
Oh, I think we can
first,
just only
though.
hit him when his thing is red. I think is actually how it works.
Okay.
Yeah, so we hit him when his shield is red. You can hit him.
I do think Armin, at least for a time, was the GOAT. Like, he's... Like, nobody talks about him, but, like, at least in the anime, he had my favorite episode. Like, the episode where him and
Where
Eren
he's
were fighting
holding
the
the-
Colossal. Yeah, and he's holding...
Oh.
Yeah. Like, that was, like, actually awesome. Like, that. Like, if I had to call one AOT episode a 10 out of 10, at least for AOT standards, that would be it. I mean, even in general, I would probably give that episode, like, a 9 if I were a psycho who rates episodes. But, yeah, that episode was fucking great. I love
I think
Armin.
rating episodes is just as fair as rating series as long as you know, rate them as episodes.
Yay! Oh, my controller.
No,
died.
you got it.
AOT ending is trash. Strong 7. Okay, I guess anyone who's here isn't gonna get spoiled, I guess. Basically what I don't like about the ending is the fact that, like, okay, Eren does do the rumbling and it kills, like, there's only 20% of the population left or whatever. And then, like, the thing about what is that place called? Paradis is, like, they're all extremists now at the end. So, like, even though Titans are gone, they're kind of in the same exact situation they were before, except there's less people, and the people who were persecuted are all extremists. So it's like it's super hard to find hope in an ending like that. Like, it tries to be hopeful in the sense of like, okay, Armin, fucking what's this? What, Connie and those people are still there, still trying to make peace. Like, they're gonna go to Paradise to go explain what actually happened and like try to make them understand. But throughout the series, especially by the end, they've never been able to make anyone understand them by talking to them. Like, it's always come down to violence. So it's like hard to imagine them going to talk to them would actually work out, especially when they already tried to talk to them
I see what you
and
mean.
it
It's
didn't
like
work out.
They kind of fall back on the thing that the series kind of showed doesn't work.
Yeah,
like, well, they'll do this
it
now.
literally didn't work even well, actually, you know, I'm gonna say that it did work once. Actually, I'll give it that, because like they technically did talk to like what the fuck is that girl's name, the people from what's the island's name.
Can you get the other guys and then I can handle crafts? Never mind. I'm fucking dead too.
Hold on. Oh, I can't even fucking shield that, brother. I'm stuck over here. Okay.
I don't think you can get crafts. I think he was down for too long.
I can, but actually, let me just fucking mash this shit.
Yeah, if you don't mash it,
I think we just
over.
should go get potions anyways.
Yeah, we can skip to the last level.
I mean,
now.
look how many fucking... Look how much XP this guy's.
Oh yeah, they're called the Marlins, right? The Marlians, whatever. Like, they did technically get along with some of them, like Gabby and the other guy. So like, I'm not gonna say it never works, but like, it's consistently not worked like far more than it's ever worked. And especially with like, you know, the people at Paradise, like they were imprisoned over there, and now they did something even worse. So it's like, I have way more reason to think that wouldn't work than it would. But it's hard for me to buy into what the series wants me to believe there. Yeah, so it's just like a very unhopeful ending, which is like, I could kind of respect it. Like, it's kind of realistic in certain ways. Like, after the Titans being gone, they wouldn't just suddenly all get along. And like, if in a certain frame of mind, you could argue maybe that's what will actually happen. But for like a fictional story, I just can't get behind it. Like, it's not a very hopeful ending. And then like, there's some other stuff that I feel like AOT gets away with that other series don't. In particular, like, it doesn't bother me personally, but I feel like if it were it's like a Yu Yu Hakusho situation where like, if it were in another series, I feel like people would harp on it more. But because, at least until the end, AOT was very like respected and looked up to, people didn't like question it or like whatever with it.
Okay, I feel like I had some very vocal haters, but
AOT?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that
Definitely
only happened
did.
at the end.
No, it did. I think
People
once
kinda thought it was
AOT
mid-sense
got
of-
very...
sense of- yeah.
Well, okay, so it had the typical haters that
Don't
are going
hit
to hate
while
it because
it's
it's
blue,
popular. But I think that really real AOT haters felt like the really popular ones that I saw were the ones that can't like understand that a series is, you know, politically about something without that meaning the author endorses it. And so once the series went really clear about what it was like about, I think I saw a lot of really vocal.
Yeah, you're right. As soon as like the final season section of the story started,
once
like
it,
that
once
probably
it started getting into like this is a Nazi Germany allegory, I think people had been calling Isayama, like, people just immediately, once that started calling them Nazis until eternity.
I
think
will
that's when,
say
like,
it
really
is
vocal
very
haters
explicit
started.
about that shit. Like, it is kind of psychopathic in some ways. Like, not that he is, but like, brother.
Well,
I didn't
so
think it was that explicit.
Obviously, he isn't, because Eren is a bad guy, but you know, yeah, I think it is clearly explicit that that's, you know, where part of Eren's ideology is, you know.
Mm-hmm. I did see like a super interesting video on Eren that I did think like explained this thing. I still think Eren is cringe though. Like,
What video?
what is it called? This video will change your mind on Eren, or change how you see Eren, or something. I think it's something like that. I thought it was interesting because like, partially he even brings up like the school AOT manga and how that's like actually important for understanding Eren, just in the sense of like,
cope. That's
no, it actually made perfect sense. It showed how like, even in a world with peace and like, you know, there's nothing wrong, there's still like his weird like itch of like, basically if there was nothing wrong, Eren would cause like, you know, something to happen anyway. Like he's a school shooter basically, not actually, but he has that mentality of like he's bored with the world, so like he would cause something to happen like either way.
I really thought this was your argument. I thought this was like an Eren defense piece.
I mean, it kind of is, but like he brings it up as a point of like why his character's good, and like, you know, this reinforces how he is.
I should explain what I mean by Eren defense piece. Not Eren's as a character is good, but he was right.
Oh no,
they
it's
were
not
like,
that kind
in
of
the
video,
school manga. I was gonna be like, brother, that's the biggest copium I've ever heard of my life.
Nah, I just thought it was interesting, especially like it got into the idea of like, oh, he's a slave to freedom. Because I did think that was like kind of dumb and a funny thing to say. He's on me in the corner.
Why are you hitting the grunt? Hit the boss.
Sorry.
He was like fucking me up in the corner, and I look over and Nun's attacking like a guy that's not going to do anything.
Because I had to.
No, you didn't. You just hate me. Want me to die for nothing?
You really hate Vindy. It's okay. I got him. I had him.
It is sad though, because like legitimately my favorite part of AOT is like the season right before the final seasons, because it, you know, it just like had the best stuff in it, like Eren and Armin versus the Colossal, Levi versus the Beast Titan. That was genuinely like a really cool fight. The initial reveal of what was in the basement was actually interesting. Like, I will say that twist is like legitimately like amazing, like in the sense of like it's probably a twist that changes how you see the entire story more than like a lot of things I can think of. Like, no, even just like, I think it would be even beyond like, you know, like seeing the end of Naruto Part 2, right, makes you recontextualize the whole story and understand what it's actually been doing the whole time. Like, I would even say that what's in the basement is a bigger change to how you would see AOT than that.
Sorry, my controller is not.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I liked Attack on Titan. I say that like it's shit, but in reality, I feel about monthly reading how you feel about weekly reading. And so just reading it monthly just killed it for me. Like, I hate monthly manga. Like, I think that like monthly chapters are goated when you read it all at once, but reading a manga monthly, like it's so unenjoyable. It's so terrible. You can never. I feel like every month I have to reread the whole fucking series. You know?
Yeah. That's why I just stopped reading Boruto.
I've only had mostly had the exception with like series I really like Plunder and Shadow.
Even Plunder, I got to go back like 3-4 chapters every time I would read one. Like it just I feel like monthly is like a month. Too much changes in my life for me to remember where a manga was a month ago.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking about the same chapter for 30 fucking days. Like,
yeah, like
no,
7 days
you.
I can do it. I can pick up a One Piece chapter or an MHA chapter and pretty quickly re-put myself in a headspace from 7 weeks ago. I cannot put myself in that headspace from a month ago.
That's more than a month.
You're right, 7 days. I'm in 7 days.
I know, but it's funny to, yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, monthly manga is crazy and it's for psychopaths.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with Blue Period, even though I really like it, but it's been so long now that I'm just like, I kind of remember what's going on. But I'm sure it'll just be way better when I read it all at once. So, and yeah, even the monthly manga I do like are still better read all at once. I mean, so are weekly manga, but you know.
And I feel like I do such a disservice when I read a monthly manga because I genuinely am doing such a bad job at remembering things month to month that like I'm just not really giving myself a good version of the story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, you know. So I don't do monthly. That's not my
Also, having finished AOT, like, I really fucking hate the comparison between AOT and Code Geass's ending. Like, that shit is, like, so fucking different. Like, I do understand where the few similarities lie, but, like, some of those similarities, first of all, are based on an actual misunderstanding of Eren and what he was trying to do. And then, two, like, I feel like they're so different in terms of, like, how hopeful and how good the actions of the protagonist are by the end. Especially because, like, some people think that, like, they misinterpret the thing of, like, Eren saying, like, fuck. This is too spoiler for Crafts. I can't go that spoiler. Fuck.
What is it? The funny line?
No. It's partially people thinking his actions had more good intention than they actually do, because of something he said. But like, it's not really like that. But I can't really fully explain it without like just spoiling the shit out of it. I mean, Crafts is already. I mean, it's partially like, you know how there's a thing of like Aaron basically after a certain point, like way far into it, kind of knew he was gonna lose, especially to his friends. So like he kind of thought there might as well be like a little bit of good that comes from the shit I'm doing. People think that means like, oh, the entire time the bad shit he was about to do was for good reasons, when that's not really the case. To kind of say that vaguely, I guess. And then obviously, like, in like Code Geass at the end, like, people are like way more just outright united and have like an actual thing in place to prevent shit like what Lelouch ended up doing or whatever. I don't know. I fucking hate that comparison, actually.
Do a video on it.
On what?
Compare the Attack on Titan Code Geass ending comparison.
Probably not. Not that interesting. And I don't even think that's like yeah, a lot of people were comparing them at first, but I don't really know if people still. I mean, I'm sure people still do it, but I don't really think it's like a big thing. I don't know.
I mean, I saw at least one tweet about it when the anime ended for Attack on Titan. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how much, like, if I ever did something like that, I don't know how much people would remember that being a thing. I don't really think it's necessary to make a video on or something.
I don't remember if I've been up to anything. Oh, right. God damn it. Just kill me. I think my battery pack is loose or something.
Bro's trying to kill Craftsdwarf. He's weird and obsessed. Yeah, Craftsdwarf, get your revenge on this loser. Bro doesn't even like Code Geass.
You know what, Nun? If you do a video comparing Code Geass and Attack on Titan, I'll do a video about Code Geass and FF16.
What? What do those have to do with each other?
Brother, they're both super robot. Or no, they're both. No, I'm sorry, they're not both super robot. They're both like secret mecha series. You know, like
Mecha
FF16,
without being mecha.
Yeah, like FF16 is people turn into giant monsters, like FF summons as mecha, and Attack on Titan is people turn into, you know, Titans. But they're both like secret mecha. I think they genuinely like one is Gundam, one is Getter Robo, in terms of like both being that.
No.
Where the one of the best moments in FF like it features like a combine. And
Aaron's
then,
not good enough to be a mecha protagonist.
You know?
I disagree. I say hearsay.
Fair enough.
Do you mean heresy?
It would be a
Fuck
really
you.
insane point, but it's silly. You know? Attack on Titan's about war is bad. FF16's about humanity is good.
I've been asking you guys questions, but I'm trying to think of what I've been up to.
Okay, well,
I
this
have
guy
been
had
thinking
more
about
potions than me. It's Jover. Fine. Have it.
I was gonna
I
say.
finally
You
win
can
one.
you can kiss the clown if you want, brother.
What the fuck? Is that the only option? I win in the end for this? The fuck? Okay.
That's the funniest thing that happened. And then it's like, oh boy, I won, and it's like, I won for this. I love it. That's so good.
What do I think of the AOT Gurren Lagann comparison? What comparison?
I've never. What?
Those are like the opposite ends of the spectrum, right? One is like an actual mecha that is positive about humanity being good, and the other is like a fake mecha that is like the opposite end of the spectrum from that, you know? I feel like it would be like, you know, I don't know, like you would compare Attack on Titan to like another dark nihilistic mecha show that somehow makes like Nazi Germany parallels, you know? Like that would be
I'm
like
sure
an
there's a
interesting
Gundam
comparison,
season that does
right?
that.
Like I think the argument for the comparison between FF16 and AOT is more to show that like, you know, things can take ideas and tropes from the mecha genre without directly having people get into giant robots. Whereas, you know, I don't know what you would get from comparing Attack on Titan to Gurren Lagann.
Yep. So yeah, are we gonna call this stream, or do you guys want to chat for a little bit?
Let me see how long
I'm
have
either down
we
to
been?
call it a stream or do one Fortnite game.
One Fortnite game would go crazy.
All right, let's do one Fortnite game.
Hell yeah, brother.
I really just want to talk to you guys, but okay. Y'all hate me.
I mean, we can
Hello?
still chat. Hello?
You act like Craftsdwarf's like, oh, we're playing Fortnite? I'd be quiet for the next 20, 30 minutes. Hello?
Gotta focus up. Carry.
Yeah, and obviously, like it always is when you say one Fortnite game, if we get fucking mega shit on and we don't even make it the top, like, half, it's not a real game and we run it again. We run it back, you know?
I feel like in very basic ways, Gurren Lagann and AOT are similar, but like that's definitely not like obviously, you know, wanting to be free from oppression, like yeah, that's both in both. It's
Again,
obviously
throw
like a big
FF16
war
in there
thing at
again,
the
also
end,
about
kind
freedom.
of. And yeah, freedom, but like I don't know, it just feels very surface level. I feel there's some big people, I guess. Yeah. The guy at the end of Gurren Lagann is technically also naked, so.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real value you can gain from drawing a comparison, you know? Because that's like really what it's got to be, right? Is it's like, what's
It's a
the
helpful comparison, yeah.
Yeah, like what can you draw from? Like, what's the point of the comparison? Exactly. And I think, you know, I can think of somewhere I can think of like a point to the comparison, but that one I don't know. Oh, brother, who should I play as? You know, I'll start off with this, but it's in the item shop. Oh my god, Craftsdwarf, just for you, MCU skins.
Oh.
Let's see, there's Hawkeye, both of them, Nick Fury. Oh, and that's it. There were more the other day.
World's biggest
I'm a
MCU
fake
guy.
I'm a fake MCU fan. I didn't watch Echo. I skipped the whole thing. I'm not a fan anymore.
I'm so proud of you.
Did you skip it by accident, or did you intend
No,
to
it's more
skip
like
it?
because the way people were talking about it, where it's like, oh my god, the Defender stuff is canon now, and I'm like, but it already was because we already saw fucking Kingpin and Daredevil once for Kingpin, twice for Daredevil, but then which makes me assume either people are really fucking stupid and have the memory of goldfish, or it actually does something with the Defenders shit that the other ones didn't. And so I was like, I'm already planning on watching the Defenders shit. So I'm just gonna. So I'll watch Echo after I watch the Defenders stuff. That's it. I will watch it. I just don't. It's only 5 episodes, but it came out and I was like,
Having a hard time switching to the Fortnite window. Give me 1 second.
Craft, do you prefer that? What do you think about this one?
Cell is good.
or
Ooh, monster cell. It's hard to choose.
I got. I also keep forgetting I got this one.
Oh, huh. Yours. I didn't know.
My
That makes sense that he's
my
in the game.
Hispanic collection grows. I'm really just missing at this point Piccolo, Bulma, and Gohan, but
Mhm.
I don't like how Bulma looks in this game.
Unfortunate.
I should have gotten Gohan though, but it is what it is.
I'm surprised you didn't, because that was one of the ones you mentioned when you were thinking about.
I
Dragon
chose
Ball Super
Vegeta
on
instead
scale.
if I'm keeping it a
Gotcha.
buck.
Okay, whatever.
I know I had said that, but then it came down to it, and I saw Vegeta, and I was like, "Wow, he's Vegeta," you know.
Okay, now that
Plus,
I'm not
I
focused
said
on
that
the
before I got Cell and Frieza and Beerus, and then it was like, you know, well now I have like a bajillion Dragon Ball skins.
I'm glad my character looks dead inside. It's just there's something like, it's obviously, you know, I could have another character, but there's something about like Naruto on one side, Cell on the other, and then like dead inside generic Fortnite character in the middle. Like, I don't know. It just feels right.
Ready up, gamer.
But oh, how do I? It's my thing's being weird. Oh, there it is. Ready. My bad. And then I was gonna say, oh, Dan asked me if I have any thoughts on Monogatari coming back. No, but I'll probably watch it or whatever. So yeah. I've been ignoring chat because I was so focused on gaming with the fucking.
I want that emote so bad, brother. I gotta keep my fucking eye open for the next time the MHA shit comes back for that emote. It's so good. Oh my god, I did pass you none. Haha.
Oh, fuck off. I'm gonna
One
pass you
ahead
again.
of you, brother. One ahead. You actually probably totally will, because I've done every weekly quest. So if you have any weeklies, you can like pass me right away.
I just need to do the ones in the other modes.
Oh no, I don't fuck with the other modes much outside of the rhythm game mode, because I'm trying to get the weekend. It's actually gonna be a Fortnite open, because probably as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna
Pick a place.
idle for 30
Yeah,
minutes in the
been
jam
everywhere.
stage, try to get the bajillion things you can get for that, because I want the weekend. And then Snake in a week.
My Fortnite froze. Oh, there we go. How's Sangatsu going, Crafts?
It's good. I'm halfway through the second season, so I'm almost done, and I'm in the bullying stuff, so it's really good.
You're
And
crying every episode.
basically, yeah. It's still very good, and I like
Dude,
it.
I'm telling you, the especially like the, I mean, it's that like what the 4th episode of the 2nd season, but the one where like it comes out that it's been going on at school, right? And she's so
Yeah. Well, just
like
I think
nervous
it's
to go home and everything, and she gets home
yeah.
and her fucking
God, well,
her
'cause, like,
grandfather's.
yes. Well, up until then, like the season's been for like the scene especially was like really, the episode was just a really nice chill episode, and then Hina gets home and it's like fuck, like, and you know, oh, someone's shooting at me.
Yeah, I agree. Like that season had been like pretty idyllic at the start, you know, and all that was going on. It was nice and happy, which I think it works really well for the like the show, because like it, you know, Ray had not dealt with all of his demons obviously, but he was in a much better place with them at the end of season 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously not better, but you know, or not good, but better. And so
Yeah.
There's
it makes
another
sense
guy
that, you know,
somewhere.
he's not immediately going to have a lot of drama right away, but that instead, you know, it's time to move that drama to the other characters and have him
Yes.
actually be able to prove his growth through like his dealing with the situations around him.
God, it's also good. And then there was another episode recently where he fucking cried at school because he's like, he's with the club and they're just like celebrating his win at the tournament, and he's just like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and he's just fucking crying because he's like, holy fucking shit, like he's so happy literally, like because he's just can't believe that fucking he's at school. He found a place to belong at school where he'd been bullied, and on the fucking way he connects like him being bullied and just like caring about Hina so much because she did reach out to protect someone in a position like him where he was alone, and just like that's really fucked up.
Craftsdwarf, I have a shield for you. There you go.
I'm already at 50, but thank you.
A big shield get to 100, kid?
That Shogi Science Club is one of my favorite like side character like clubs. Like it's like them and like the Muscle Club from Mob Psycho are just like goats.
Hayashida Sensei is so good. Just because like he's like such a dork. Like he's an adult, but he's like, because he even talks about how as a child, when he was younger, he was very relaxed and irresponsible in some ways. So it makes sense that he connects to Kiriyama because he's like somewhat childish of an adult, relatively speaking. Kiriyama is really adult as a child, and they're just he's just so cool. Always looking out for Kiriyama and love him.
Basically
it's just the GOAT. What can you say? Umino makes series with the best cast you've ever seen.
Basically, yeah, she's best.
Someone wants this. It's a blue gun.
Me, I'll take a blue scar.
Yeah, and so, but also, I am gonna follow through with what I was talking about before about taking a break from anime and see if that helps with my focus any. So for February and March, I'm gonna try to watch as little anime as possible. I might just end up watching a bunch of cartoons because I finally after like over 10 years started a Moral Oral, which is an Adult Swim.
Yeah, I know it.
That is a very Craftsdwarf series. Holy shit.
It's
that is a craft series.
I don't mean as in you would like fucking love it. It just feels like this is the show Craftsdwarf would pick to watch.
Just randomly start watching.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you mean. Okay, gotcha. Because I've literally had it on my backlog for probably over 10 years now. I'm just like because there were some discussions on 4chan about the Clay, Oral's father, that I remember finding really interesting and making me think I should check out this show.
Well, what's the?
I just never did.
I did it. There we go.
And now I finally decided to just fuck it. I'll watch it finally. It's literally only like 40 half-length episodes.
It's 2 seasons, right?
So the 3 seasons, but they're at least the first season is half-length episodes. So it's like it's not even that. It's not long at all, really.
Yeah.
Craftsdwarf, I know your guns are dog shit. Come get this gun.
Here's what's funny. I remember seeing a Moral Oral episode as like a kid on Adult Swim. I think it was genuinely one of those like I fell asleep with like Cartoon Network turned on and it turned into
I woke up.
and I woke up at the end of an episode of Moral Oral and genuinely thought it was Robot Chicken until like 2 years ago. When I saw the scene of the episode, remembered watching it and being like, oh, it was this show.
Yes,
because just like I was like a
immediately.
kid, obviously didn't know about Adult Swim's lineup at the time.
For sure.
And like I knew about Robot Chicken, I think by then.
So,
but yeah, it just like
it's animated.
It's so funny that like the one episode of that show, like I remember that episode like really clearly, but I just always assumed it was fucking Robot Chicken.
Yeah, so far it's really edgy. Maybe it's not quite what I was hoping it was going to be, but I don't dislike it. So there's that. I mean, it's fucking Adult Swim. I should fucking know what I'm getting into. But yeah, we'll see how I feel after 40 more episodes.
Nice. Are you still going to be watching Toku during your...
So my plan is...
Because I'm pretty sure you wanted to do no subs in general, too,
so,
right?
Well, I said no subs, but I'm going to finish Hero Girl Sky Precure. I'm going to finish King Osama Sentai King Oger. So there's at least a few episodes I'm going to watch. I'm going to wait on their follow-ups until April when I, stop, basically. And then same for Undead Unluck, because I'll just catch up to that when it ends, pretty much. Which I've already read the manga, so it's not gonna like affect my enjoyment too much, I wouldn't think. So, yeah, I'm gonna finish Hero Girl Sky Precure. I'm gonna finish King Osama Sentai King Oger. So there's at least a few episodes I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna wait on their follow-ups until April when I, catch up to that when it ends, pretty much. Which I've already read the manga, so it's not gonna like affect my enjoyment too much, I wouldn't think. So sorry, distracted by Vindy.
Doesn't Cell have such a good voice?
He does.
Fuck.
It's one of my favorite emotes. It's so funny.
I accidentally shot, and there's people nearby, so I might have alerted them.
You're a good gamer.
I didn't shoot because I saw
I believe in
them.
us.
I just saw them right after I accidentally shot, so that was awesome.
None, are you excited for Last of Us 2
Remaster?
Tomorrow? Yeah.
I'm not necessarily excited, but I'm looking forward to it because I do want to replay both. I haven't even replayed Last of Us 1 Remake just yet. Cause,
I haven't played the 1 remake either, but I've been waiting for an excuse to, especially because I played. It's funny. I would honestly pick up and buy the Last of Us 1 remaster, but I genuinely think the last like 2 or 3 years I've started them with a replay of Last of Us 1, including last year. I know I like replayed the year I started the year by replaying it. So I don't want to play Last of Us 1 again. I feel like I should just play 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
instead
it's
of
been so
spending
fucking...
like $70 on the remaster of 1 and then 10 for the 2 remaster.
Yeah,
so I'm just kind of excited because I haven't replayed the game since 2020, and like, you know, not that I don't remember what happened.
Like super fucking low.
But I'm excited to.
Okay, I can't fucking aim anymore.
Start the game back up, or start the game up again. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm mostly just using it as an excuse to replay.
Because that Last of Us 1 Remake was going to be the first game I played on my new monitor. Because, like, you know, it's big as fuck. It's 4K, all that shit. Favorite games? Well, not favorite game series. But Last of Us 2 is my favorite game. But, like, I wanted to be able to record the footage. But I don't have a capture card yet. So that's why I've delayed playing it.
Oh, I see. Dude, they had a Stormtrooper and Darth Vader in their squad. That's funny.
Where is this bitch ass? There
How
we
does
go.
this lock-on pistol work? It's terrible.
Yeah, that guy was fucking terrible.
Good shit, gamers.
Shit.
There's another guy.
Yeah, he was
That's
shooting
chicken,
at
never mind.
me. No, there's a guy. He
fucking
was
player.
shooting at me. Okay, I
Good shit,
got him.
Thank you. I had to reload all my guns. Yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm gonna start it just tomorrow, and then I'm really
glad I
excited to
wasn't
see
streaming.
the cut content stuff. Because like, even though they're not complete levels, I think that'll be like interesting to see, like, you know, what they cut, and then I think the roguelike mode's gonna be fun. So I'm excited tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I
Let's
forgot
just
about
play that
that.
game.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious if I'm gonna like mess with like how you could put on different clothing. Like I feel like that might take me out
I
of
probably
it.
won't my first try, but if I ever play the game again, I probably will.
Yeah,
I do shit with Uncharted all the time.
Yeah.
I play Uncharted as Fat Nathan Drake all the fucking time. I play that through that game as Donut Drake. It is so goofy. So the biggest changes with Remake from even just the PS5 patch. If you're playing Last of Us 2 on a PS5 patch, one of the biggest ones is that the low graphic mode, like the performance mode, actually is a stable 60 as opposed to just targeting 60 and being mostly that, but having drops. From my understanding, the new performance mode is like a genuine just locked fucking 60 the entire time and looks like a little bit better with some like shadow stuff, but it's mostly the same. There's a high fidelity mode that I don't think changes much like texture options, but then the game runs at native 4K as opposed to 1440. And then there's like different costumes for Ellie and Abby. They added like I think like half an hour to an hour of like cut content that you can go through with developer commentary. And then there's the roguelite mode, which isn't apparently
interested.
super robust, but you know, is a thing, and there's multiple characters and unlocks, and you know, more excuses to kind of fuck around with the Last of Us gameplay.
I do think that
full
roguelike
game.
should have been like, you know, more robust because like even though I disagree with how harsh people are on those like remake/remasters, I do think they could have made like if it's an extra mode, it should be more substantial. I do think.
Well, so I don't know exactly how robust or not. I know there's like 7 playable characters, I think, or something. And, you know, people will say not robust, but I think it depends when you're talking about a roguelike.
Yeah, I mean, I will have to try for myself.
People
to
saying
actually
that
see.
play a lot of them, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, if it's about the level of the God of War one, I'll be stoked. The only reason I don't play more of that God of War one is like literally that you have to have all of Ragnarok installed, so it's like 100 gig install. to play a fucking
Boy.
roguelike mode. And it's like, I'm not fucking... Brother, there's like 700 gigs, 600 gigs on the shit on fucking off-rip. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not keeping a 100 gigabyte roguelite installed.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Where, like, yeah, if I could, like, modular install that and have, like, 30 gigs for it, I probably genuinely would keep that shit installed because it's fun as fuck. So I'm hoping that the Last of Us one is similar and I can get some use out of that before I have to delete the game and not touch it ever again in, like, fucking...
Okay, I should probably install that
End of
onto
this
my
month.
PS5. I kind of forgot that, like, yeah.
So if it works like how other games like that, like the PS4 to PS5 upgrades have worked, don't install the PS4 version because you're going to have to delete it anyways.
No, I mean, I just meant pop the disc in and, you know, make it do its shit. Because I don't think I've put it in my PS5.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if you put it in, like the Last of Us Part 2, like the PS4 version in, you need, what are you talking about? You need Ragnarok for God of War 1. No, you need Ragnarok for Valhalla. The free DLC update for that game.
Crafts, how many kills do you have?
I think that...
Where do I see it? Probably not 21. No, that's zero.
Oh. Okay, so me and Vindy have 5 and 5. These are just bots.
Oh.
Yeah. They're bots from the hill over there.
Even that one that running away?
Let me see.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're both bots.
Okay.
I mean, we can go over there if you want to.
It drops stuff.
Behind us.
Oh, okay. That's more
You
important.
see the gold circle?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
there
not
are
this
players
one.
nearby. I mean, they did drop a really good fucking gun over here if someone wants to get this later. I already have that.
I'm already the other side of the fucking...
Teehee, Tuhu.
Oh, there's people. I see them.
But no,
Craftsdwarf,
sorry.
clean them
So
up.
the like, because it happened when I was trying to do Death Stranding. I put in like the PS4 disc, right, and then bought the upgrade, and I had to delete the PS4 version of the game to install the PS5 version.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of uses the disc as basically like a code
fuck
check
me.
to make sure that you own the base game, but it doesn't
Okay.
run that version of the game, so you
Almost
shouldn't
got
actually
knocked.
install that version.
Oh, you're down, Crafts? Where are you? Okay, there you are.
Yeah.
Got him.
Okay, we're chilling.
Thank you, Nun.
You're welcome.
And nice job, Vindy.
If
have
you want
a
to grab that purple, you
gun
can.
with
And there's some
blocks
small
on it,
shields
so
here.
I didn't have to do anything.
How many of these are there? Oh, wait, hold on. I just needed some of those. Oh, here's a med kit if you need that.
What up, gamers?
I'm good. I healed as much as I can.
There's a mythic gun over here. Let's fucking go. Yeah, I took that. Fuck you.
But I'm excited to see what the mode offers. I mean, I'm really just excited to play that game again because I remember liking it a lot, and I feel like I've seen people talk so much since that game came out about like all the little details with like AI in that game, and I remember some of it, but I'm interested to go back in and kind of like test some of that actually. You know what I mean? Like actually pay attention to like, okay, so if I'm out of ammo, can I like use the gun click to bait people out of position and stuff? You know?
Yeah.
There's a rift here.
I really want to like I do really like Last of Us, like obviously like from a story perspective, but like I really want to get into it like in a gameplay way. Like I kind of want to explore it a little more in that kind of way. There's people up here, by the way.
Yeah, one of them's jumped off. I'm trying to snipe him.
Legendary shotgun. Cool.
I didn't get him.
Where the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, I've only played... I play on, like... I think I played 2 the first time, and I know I played 1 most recently on, like, Survivor, so not Grounded. So I might try to play 2 on Grounded, actually. If I can off-rip. Like, if it saved my save and trophy info. And, see how that goes, but...
Yeah. Like, I've played on, like, hard difficulties, but I'm still a little scared to try grounded, but like I do want to do it eventually.
Played on one of the hard ones that's hard enough that it turns off like the listen button?
I don't think so.
Because I don't know I think the last time I played a version of Last of Us that I had listening was the first time I played Last of Us 1. Like I keep forgetting that that's a mechanic in the game. Because on survival and grounded it turns it off.
I feel like I played survival. Let me think. Because I feel like I played the second hardest difficulty, which would have been survival, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I know that turns off. For sure, I know that turns off the...
But, like, I feel like I'm pretty sure it was fucking on.
How do I get down again?
I don't know. There's a
if you
trampoline.
jump on the trampoline.
Yeah.
Trampoline?
He's old.
I see it.
There we go. 10 people. Okay.
But it's great too because that game comes out like the perfect time where it's like I'll finish that and then like Persona will be out, and then Persona will take me like all of February, and then
I'm still held back on
out,
trying to
take
play
the rest of this year.
P5R. So I feel like I should play that before I play Reload.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I am excited to play more Persona because I had a lot of fun playing P5R last year. I feel like that gameplay loop can be so satisfying when you like really get into like the I'm going through the school stuff and then I'm going into the dungeon and then I'm doing the school stuff in the dungeon and the
Oh yeah, speaking of Persona, Pause and Select put out a video on
P4
P4
Arena.
Gold.
Yeah, I have it pulled up, but I haven't watched it
okay.
yet.
I thought it was good. I haven't even played any of those games.
Why?
Because it was I knew all the
No,
spoilers that
no.
mattered already.
No.
I
did click enough of the video to say he spoils Persona 3, 4 Arena, 4 Golden, and Royal or something like that.
Yeah, I barely, like, yeah, he only really spoiled.
But it also could be like
Persona
cringe
3.
YouTuber spoilers where it's not real spoilers. It's like he says one thing about the story 5 hours in, but he has to say that they're spoilers because people are babies and can't handle like anything. Oh wait,
Let's fucking go. This idiot fucking stayed in the car and blew up.
Let's go! All right, that's a fucking great place to end it. On God.
Yeah, nice.
I did want to ask you, did you are you interested in that other game by the Persona team, Vindy? I forget what it's called. That shit looks really cool.
Metaphor Refantazio? Or something like
yeah,
that?
it's something like that. Like that game, like I'm surprised they put that much into that. Like holy shit.
That game looks sick. I'm really pumped for that game.
Yeah, like I actually want to try to buy that when it comes out.
Yeah. I'm really curious. There's a lot of things about that game. We can talk about it another time more. I'm really interested to see. I want to see how the team handles a story that isn't like set in modern day. I'm really interested to hear Shoji Meguro do non-contemporary soundtrack. Hear what that sounds like.
Oh yeah, sorry, I only just saw Titania's comment about that. Apparently, the ending of season 1 for Moral Oral was the first episode, and that makes a lot of fucking sense because that was the first episode I saw. Sorry, go ahead, Vindy.
No, that was most of it.
Okay.
Teehee, can you come on?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, though, gamers. I will.
Yeah, neat
See y'all
stream.
Yeah, it was fun. Have a good week, everybody. See